Hello everyone. Today I'd like to introduce the RC circuit. At first, I'd like to measure the capacitance of these capacitors. So capacitance of these capacitors, you can read the number is a 10.3 microfarad. 10.3 microfarad. Then we'd like to measure the resistance of this resistor. It becomes a 327.8 ohm. Lastly, we'd like to measure the voltage of these batteries. So it becomes 5.88 volt. Capacitor has a capacitance of the 10.3 microfarad. Resistor has a resistance of the 327.8 ohms. The battery has a voltage of the 5.88 volt. We are going to make a series connections using the breadboard. So this is a series connection of the resistor and the capacitors. Then we'd like to measure the voltage difference of the capacitors using the oscilloscope. So this is the ground level. So this is the oscilloscope. So we use the triggers. So we use these menus, the rising triggers, and then changing the larger than the zero. Then use a single mode. Then we connect the battery to this circuit to capture the change of the voltage of the capacitor. Then you can look at the display of an oscilloscope. Then voltage is increasing with times. To save this data, we use a USB here. Then start reading the USBs by the oscilloscope. Then oscilloscope is ready to save data. So you can push these buttons to save data. Wait a while, and then now safely is saved. We are going to compare the measured value with the theoretical models. At first, we'd like to obtain the measured quantities using the pandas module. And the data for the time is given by the column C. And the column 4 gives us the voltage difference between the capacitors. We name it to the voltage as a V and the time as a T. Then we'd like to plot the data of the voltage as a function of times. So as we expected, voltage is 0 before charging, and then once the charge starts, voltage between the two plates in the capacitors is increasing up to the maximum value of the 5.88 volt. So we'd like to compare with the theoretical models. In the theories, as I explained, V is a potential difference between the two plates of the capacitors is expressed E times 1 minus exponential minus T over R times C. So at the present questions, E is a 5.88 volt. Resistance is a 327.8 ohms. Capacitance is a 10.3 times 10 to minus 6 farad. So this equation is analytical solutions. So we'd like to compare observed quantity with analytical solutions. So green curves show the observed values of the voltage difference between the two plates of the capacitors, and the orange curves show the analytical models. These two values agree well. So we could confirm analytical solutions reproduce the observed quantities very well. So we could confirm the analytical solutions can describe the charging process of our capacitors.